Howdy, partners. Welcome to another episode of the Stag Statement. On Tuesday, we had a special speaker on MLK Day from the University of Texas.
I'm Amy Lynn. I'm Kamira, and we're here with Dr. Fred McGhee from the University of Texas, and we're going to be asking him some questions. Here you go.
So, what's it like being a marine archaeologist?
Well, it's pretty fun. It's a cool gig. You get to dive, you get to do stuff that matters, and you get to have fun while doing it. I think that's the key to any job, if you want to do a job that you love. It is a labor of love, no question about that, because you're not constantly diving, you're not constantly doing archaeology. You're doing a lot of paperwork a lot of the time, and you're spending a lot of time in front of the computer. But you also place yourself in situations where when the time comes, you can have some of the best times of your life.
If students or even teachers wanted to get into diving, how would you recommend they do that? And why do you think that scuba diving or just diving in general would be a good skill to have?
Well, I think swimming and diving are fundamental, especially for African Americans. The number of young children in particular who are susceptible to drowning and swimming accidents is disturbingly large. And swimming and diving can do something about that. Getting started, you can just go look on the internet and find places where you can learn how to take courses in basic diving. There are numerous certification organizations such as PADI that offer training courses, beginning training courses for all age levels, really. And you can get started that way. And it's a field that you can continue to grow with as far as you want. I've gone pretty far in my diving journey. I started first diving 30 years ago, and now I'm, a PhD level marine archaeologist.
So our last question is just to kind of recap your chapel talk. How do you think that Dr. Martin Luther King ties into just swimming?
I think in a big way. One of the most important things that needed to be desegregated in America was swimming pools. If you study the civil rights era, there's a famous picture of a black family wanting to swim in a swimming pool and the racist hotel owner pouring bleach and lye into the pool because he didn't want black people swimming in his hotel swimming pool. That story is not unique. It existed throughout the segregated South, and indeed elsewhere. So the fight to desegregate public accommodations, a major part of this was desegregating public swimming pools. And I'm very much a part of that legacy, okay? I was one of the first African Americans to become a U.S. Navy diving officer and the first African American to graduate from the University of Texas with a PhD in archaeology. I've made it a big portion of my career to teach, hundreds of people to swim and to dive. I view it as a form of civil rights advocacy, especially for poor African American kids, for whom drowning is one of the leading causes of death. So, absolutely, this is one of those, and Dr. King modeled this behavior himself. He considered learning to swim and having his children swimming as a fundamental aspect of his civil rights advocacy. He knew that swimming skills was one of the ways in which you could empower directly children, especially young black children, who were raised in a system where they were taught that they weren't equal to anybody else.
Wow. Okay, I think that's all the questions that we have.
Thank
Thank you for letting us interview you.
Absolutely.
Hi, I am Pruitt Fedorowicz for the Stag Statement, and today we're getting to know Chef Steve. Chef Steve, what is your favorite restaurant in Austin?
I have a couple favorite restaurants. I love the Odd Duck. I love Loro. I like Terry Black's and Rosita's Al Pastor, to name a few.
All right. What is your favorite thing to do in your free time when you're not cooking for stage?
I have two Great Danes, so I take them to the dog park and take them hiking a lot. Probably that.
Cool. So what's the hardest thing about cooking for St. Andrews?
Nothing. It's the easiest job I've ever had.
And what's your favorite sports team?
The Pittsburgh Steelers, baby.
All right. And we have a special request from Christ Daniel. He would like to know, can we bring back chicken dumpling soup?
No. Well, I'm just kidding. Of course we can bring it back. I'll add it to the list.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Chef Steve.
No problem.
All right, so one last thing. Your prediction for the Super Bowl.
Kansas City by 6.
All right.
What's up, Griffin? How you doing, Bryce? Hey, Griffin, what do you think the score of the Super Bowl is going to be?
I'm gonna say the Chiefs by 10.
Well, that's a bold prediction right there. You sure you're going to
know.
go with that one?
I'm positive.
All right, buddy. Keep it 100.
I will.
Third grade, we have been studying how our government works and how our country was created. And we also studied a little bit about child labor laws in the first part. And in math, we're learning a lot of multiplication and perimeters. And in ELA, we're doing poems. So yeah, poetry.
You know, it was what it was. Don't you mean what it is, what it is? No, it's a new year. It was what it was. Tim Moore is not winning this year.
I predict a three-peat.